Welcome to Magic Arcanum. I'm Ryan Gomez.
And I'm Nicole Burdick.
And we're so glad you're here because it's story time!
Yay!
Commander Legends Battle for Baldur's Gate is a supplemental set that is a perfect crossover product if you are a D&D player who has never touched Magic, or if you are a Magic player who has never played D&D, this could be the planar portal that takes you into a whole new world.
Our friends at Many Worlds Tavern agree. That's why they've sponsored today's video, in which we'll explain what even is Battle for Baldur's Gate while enjoying fresh cups of their amazing coffee.
Hot. God, don't touch it. Ooh. Many Worlds Tavern is an online-only coffee shop that makes coffee for game night. Everything has that tabletop charm to it, from the names of their flavors right down to the fact that they donate $1 from every bag sold to a gaming-related charity.
They were kind enough to send us one of their treasured rounds, which are really cool. They only make 400 of these per batch right now, and they come with collectibles and things you can use in your Dungeons & Dragons campaign, like legendary weapons and items.
So visit Many Worlds Tavern and use promo code MA10 at checkout for 10% off your order while supporting a gaming-related charity and giving yourself a nice passive charisma bonus on your next game night when you show up with this flavorful treat for your gaming group.
Alright, now let's talk about Commander Legends Battle for Baldur's Gate.
It is the second Magic the Gathering Commander set designed to be drafted. So let's explain how that works real quick.
Ideally, you'll sit down at a table holding 8 people total. You'll each have 3 draft booster packs in front of you.
You'll open one pack and select 2 cards from it to keep. You'll pass the remaining 18 cards to your neighbor and inherit the 18 coming to you from the other direction.
Repeat this process, going through all the cards in the packs, and eventually you're left with your pool. From this pile, plus as many basic lands as you want, you have to make a 60-card deck.
Draft Magic is a great way to level the playing field. It doesn't matter how long someone has been playing or how big their personal collection of cards are. They have to use what's going around the table, so everyone starts out from the same place.
The wrinkle here is that you're drafting a commander deck, so you should tell them what that means.
Commander is a special way to play Magic, but I want to relate it to Dungeons and Dragons here for a second. When you play D&D, you often start by creating a character for yourself. Depending on the type of character you create, you'll have different options open to you during the game itself. A spellcasting wizard is going to approach problems differently than a sneaky rogue or a brave paladin, for example. And that's true in Commander Magic as well. You have to select a legendary creature to be your deck's commander, which then gets special treatment. Your commander doesn't get shuffled into your deck. Instead, they start in a special command zone and even return here when they die rather than go to the graveyard. Your commander also dictates the colors for every spell in your deck. If you draft, say, Jan Jansen Chaos Crafter with the intent of using him as your commander, then every other card in your deck must also be either red, white, or black. You cannot have any green or blue cards in there.
Had to pick Jan Jansen. Are we sure
Honestly,
it's not Jan Jansen?
I'm not. But I'm more confident in this than a lot of the other names in this set.
Okay.
Jan Hansen.
I think it might be Jan
From Johannesburg.
I mean...
I like saying names wrong because then people leave me comments about how I messed it up, and that's good for engagement. But Battle for Baldur's Gate takes this one step further with the introduction of backgrounds, a new type of enchantment card that can also start the game in your command zone, and thus change your potential colors of your deck. Say you want to use Alora Merry Thief as your commander. Normally, that would mean your entire deck had to be blue cards. But since she lets you choose a background, you could give her a criminal past, and now your deck can also include black cards. Backgrounds are a neat way to really customize your legend. And they open up all sorts of new deck building options. It also feels like Dungeons & Dragons, where you often create a backstory for your character to explain some of their traits and abilities. So you draft all your cards, being mindful of the fact that you'll need to eventually make a deck with a legend who might even get a cool background, and then all the other cards will have to follow their color identity. After that, your table of 8 will break into 2 pods of 4, and you'll play a multiplayer game of Commander, where you try to outwit, outlast, and outplay everyone else, though you'll probably need to make some temporary alliances along the way.
Whatever your strategy, having the initiative will probably help you. This is another classic Dungeons & Dragons mechanic ported over to Magic, and you'll find it on about 24 cards within the set. Whenever you take the initiative, and at the beginning of your upkeep, you get to venture into the Undercity. This is a special dungeon that offers various small rewards that might tip the balance of the game in your favor. But be careful, because other players will definitely try and steal the initiative from you by dealing you combat damage. This back-and-forth tug-of-war minigame is a great way to shake up table politics and keep things moving forward. You can't just sit back and play defensively when someone else has the initiative, or they'll eventually run away with the game. And the princess.
Now, this is Magic Arcanum, where we're all about the stories behind the cards. And if you're not familiar with D&D lore, Baldur's Gate might not mean much to you. So let's set the stage. Baldur's Gate is a city in the Forgotten Realms, a popular setting for Dungeons & Dragons campaigns. It was created by game designer Ed Greenwood in the late 1960s, and the idea is that our Earth and this magical land were once closely connected, but over time drifted apart, eventually becoming forgotten by the people of our planet. The cards in this set come from the Time of Troubles, a noted period of conflict during which the city is under attack by the forces of Avernus and the Dead Three. These are gods, each represented by legendary cards you could draft and build your deck around, if you're feeling particularly naughty. In the official lore, these dark gods were eventually defeated, but if you build your deck right, maybe you won't be.
And that brings us back to the other cool part about Magic. There are over 20,000 unique cards available to you, so the fun doesn't stop once your Baldur's Gate draft is over. You could build upon your deck and scale it up to a full 100 card Commander deck, maybe by adding cards from Adventures in the Forgotten Realms, a previously released set that also takes place within the D&D multiverse.
But why stop there? Cards like Nalia and Barakos both care about you having a party! And I don't mean one with chips and dip. The party mechanic, originally introduced in Zendikar Rising, looks for you to control a cleric, a warrior, a wizard, and a rogue, which happens to be the classic composition of an adventuring party in Dungeons & Dragons.
Speaking of dragons, Magic is loaded with those too. Perfect for filling out a deck built around a legend like Corlessa or Lozan.
There are so many cool ways you can mix the cards from Commander Legends Battle for Baldur's Gate with existing Magic cards, and we can't wait to hear about the decks you come up with. But I do have one final question for you. Which legend from this awesome set would be most likely to enjoy some coffee from Many Worlds Tavern?
Trick question, Ryan. Of course it would be Wilson Refined Grizzly. Duh.
Remember to visit Many Worlds Tavern and grab some coffee for your next game night, be it Magic or Dungeons & Dragons, so you can keep the cards drawing and the dice rolling.
Then make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the great stories you'll only find on
Magic Arcanum.
We'll see ya. Any other odd, awkward, weird B-roll of us being in the same room at the same time in the same place?
I don't think anyone wants to see that.
No. No good. Okay. Just checking. Just checking.